Hello, friends. I hope you're having a beautiful day. Well, today I'm going to tell you about another turning point in my life, you might say, um, that was very traumatic for me. It was actually 10 years ago today, March the 2nd, 2016. It was just an ordinary day in the morning, because it was in the morning time. My daughter, her little girl, just barely 2 years old, and I were heading out to drop my daughter off at college. Nothing unusual, nothing dramatic, just life. When I dropped my daughter off, she double checked the car seat and how her daughter was buckled in. She very, very precise on that, and she always double checks. They have to be buckled in properly. And then my granddaughter and I headed home. I was driving the speed limit. It was only in a 60 kilometers mile zone. And I was coming up to this intersection, the last intersection before leaving town. I had the green light, and then a massive bang. Everything went black. For a split second, I kept thinking, what just happened? Like, what the hell? What shocked me the most wasn't even the crash. It was how everything slowed down. It was in slow motion, like time itself stretched. Then I saw smoke. My heart stopped. I thought the car was on fire. I didn't know airbags created smoke when they deploy. I had never experienced that before. All I could think of was the baby. She wasn't making a sound. Not a sound. I tried to open the door to get out, but someone was already there telling me, don't move, don't move. They were worried about injuries, of course. But I was in shock, and I knew I was in shock. I was crying uncontrollably, yelling, the baby, I need to check on the baby. Is she okay? Is she okay? They kept telling me she was okay, she's fine. And I kept saying, but she's not making a sound. She's not making a sound. She's not doing nothing. Within seconds, police, first responders, and the ambulance were there. They checked me over, no major injuries. I was so lucky. They took my granddaughter out of the car seat. And the cop that did said, I remember him saying, wow, she's in here nice and snug. She didn't even budge. And I quickly grabbed her into my arms. I wasn't letting her go. I tried to call my daughter, but my hands were shaking so bad, I couldn't even dial my cell phone for her number. I handed my phone to someone else that said they would try for me. I told my daughter what happened and to meet us at the hospital. Both of my daughters came. Me and my granddaughter were both physically okay. My granddaughter, she was in good spirits. It was like, what the heck is going on? This is kind of nice. Almost untouched by it all. Later, I found out there were witnesses, including a tow truck driver right behind me. I didn't even have a chance, they said. The person turned left right in front of me. I didn't have a chance. I had the green light. The other driver, like I said, turned right in front of me, and I T-boned the vehicle. The only reason it wasn't worse, the speed limit, it was only 60 kilometers an hour. And here's the unbelievable part. That very same day, I had a review board meeting for my ODSP application because I had been rejected, so I had to go, in front of the review board. I could not miss it. This was an important meeting. My vehicle was written off. We finished the paperwork, rented a vehicle, and I went to that meeting. Still in shock, still traumatized. And my lawyer, she had apparently been at the very intersection. She had seen what happened. It didn't take long in the meeting. I was approved. To this day, I don't know how I got through that meeting, but I did. The very next day, the shock hit my body. I started dry heaving constantly, dry heaves. My neck was extremely painful, whiplash. And then came the anxiety, the PTSD. For almost a whole year, I lived in my pajamas. I didn't want to leave the house. In fact, I didn't even hardly want to leave my bedroom. I became a horrible passenger in the car. I still am. But I'm better. But yeah. Anxiety takes over. Each year after that, I got a little stronger, a little braver. But like I said, I still have the PTSD moments. But I have the tools now to work through it. Breathing, grounding, self-talk, and awareness. That's the difference. When I think back to the accident, I realize something powerful. Life can change in a split second. One green light, one wrong turn, one impact, and everything is different. But here's what else I learned. PTSD didn't just break me. It made me more aware, more conscious, more protective of my surroundings, and more grateful. Sometimes trauma doesn't just wound you, it wakes you up. And I am so thankful we walked away. Life could change in a split second. So live gently, live deeply, and never take an ordinary day for granted.